For the last 30 years, international long-haul aviation has been completely dominated by a hyper-profitable geographic monopoly, the Persian Gulf Transit Triangle. By turning Dubai and Doha into massive global mega-hubs, Emirates and Qatar Airways successfully captured the lucrative flow of air traffic moving between Europe, Asia, and the Americas. But right now, that multi-billion-dollar airspace monopoly is facing a direct, aggressive declaration of war. Saudi Arabia's startup mega-carrier, Riyadh Air, has officially firmed up its long-haul options, expanding its flagship Airbus A350-1000 fleet to 31 aircraft, before ever operating its very first commercial route. This $10 billion wide-body commitment marks a fundamental turning point in Middle Eastern fleet strategy. Bankrolled by the near-infinite financial reserves of Saudi Arabia's $925 billion public investment fund, Riyadh Air isn't entering the aviation market as a slow, cautious regional startup. It is launching as a pre-funded global empire. By deliberately selecting the high-capacity, longest fuselage variant of the Airbus widebody family, the A350-1000, the kingdom is sending a direct message to its regional neighbors. Saudi Arabia is no longer content letting international transit passengers simply fly over their territory. They are forcing them to land. The macroeconomic architecture behind this fleet expansion is designed to trigger a direct capacity squeeze on the premium long-haul transit market. Currently, if a passenger flies from London to Sydney or New York to Mumbai, they almost certainly connect through Dubai International or Hamad International. Saudi Arabia is disrupting this hub-and-spoke flow by constructing the massive King Salman International Airport, a 6-runway mega-aerotropolis designed to process 120 million passengers annually. Riyadh Air's 31 flagship A350s are the specific long-range weapons chosen to intercept that international traffic and redirect global wealth directly into the Saudi economy. Today, we are analyzing the hidden unit economics and geopolitical strategy behind Saudi Arabia's $10 billion wide-body offensive. How does the seat-mile operating cost of the Airbus A350-1000 completely shift the balance of power against Emirates' aging super jumbo fleets? How is sovereign capital being used to build an elite global airline from absolute scratch? And what happens to the aviation industry when a new competitor enters the sky with a blank check and zero debt obligations? To break a multi-decade monopoly held by entrenched competitors, an airline cannot just match their capacity. It must deliver superior unit operating economics. This is why Riyadh Air's selection of the Airbus A350-1000 is an incredibly calculated corporate maneuver. Built with over 53% advanced carbon fiber composites and lightweight titanium alloys, the A350-1000 is engineered to achieve a staggering 25% reduction in fuel burn and carbon emissions compared to legacy twin-engine long-haul aircraft like the Boeing 777-300ER. In the brutal math of airline operations, the ultimate metric of profitability is CASM, or cost per available seat mile. By deploying an optimized, high-density premium cabin layout across 31 ultra-efficient A350 hulls, Riyadh Air can drive its seat-mile operating costs down to a level that legacy operators cannot easily counter. This efficiency delta hands the Saudi startup an immense pricing weapon. They can aggressively undercut the ticket prices of Emirates and Qatar Airways on critical intercontinental routes, while still preserving healthy, sustainable corporate operating margins. The strategic genius behind the timing of this firm order comes down to a global industrial bottleneck. The commercial aviation industry is currently suffering from a severe, compounding deficit of wide-body aircraft production. Airbus and Boeing have completely sold out their twin-aisle assembly lines through the end of the decade. If an airline doesn't already hold guaranteed, locked-in delivery slots on a manufacturer's order book, they are physically locked out of the long-haul market until the early 2030s. By leveraging the massive liquidity of the Saudi Public Investment Fund to firm up 31 A350-1000 slots right now, Riyadh Air has effectively cornered a massive portion of the available wide-body manufacturing capacity. This move successfully blocks rival airlines from expanding or renewing their own long-haul fleets. While legacy carriers struggle with multi-year delivery delays and engine maintenance backlogs, Riyadh Air has secured a guaranteed structural pipeline of next-generation aircraft. They aren't just buying planes, they are buying up the limited real estate of the global sky. The final battleground for Gulf dominance will not be fought over economy-class ticket discounts. It will be waged in the ultra-lucrative, high-margin business and first-class cabins. Saudi Arabia sits at a perfect geographic crossroads. 80% of the global population lives within an 8-hour flight radius of the kingdom. Riyadh Air is designing its fleet and network specifically to target the corporate traveler and luxury tourist, aiming to connect Saudi Arabia directly to over 100 global destinations by 2030. Historically, Saudi Arabia's massive domestic premium travel demand was completely outsourced. Corporate executives and high-net-worth individuals living in Riyadh or Jeddah routinely took short regional flights to Dubai or Doha just to connect onto an Emirates or Qatar Airways long-haul flight to the west. Riyadh Air's 31 aircraft are built to permanently short-circuit this drainage of wealth. By offering seamless, non-stop luxury intercontinental flights straight out of the capital, they are recapturing their own domestic premium market, while actively poaching high-value transit passengers right out of their neighbors' loyalty programs. The verdict is clear. Saudi Arabia's $10 billion wide-body commitment is not a speculative vanity project. It is a highly coordinated, asset-backed economic offensive designed to break a decades-old aviation duopoly. By weaponizing the superior seat-mile economics of the Airbus A350-1000, locking down rare manufacturing delivery slots, and leveraging near-bottomless sovereign wealth, Riyadh Air is forcing a permanent restructuring of global aviation route maps. The historical era where Dubai and Doha held an absolute monopoly over global transit traffic is drawing to a close, replaced by a fierce, tripolar air war for the future of the skies. Riyadh Air isn't asking for permission to join the elite tier of aviation. They have simply bought the fleet required to take it over.